The BBC has learned that a man detained on suspicion of killing the British MP David Amess had previously attended a government scheme to prevent radicalisation. He's been named as Ali Harbi Ali. More than 20 people have died and dozens more are missing after severe flooding in Kerala in southern India. Entire towns and villages have been cut off by landslides. The Grand Mosque in Mecca has dropped social distancing rules for the first time since the start of the pandemic. Worshippers can now pray side by side, but still need to be vaccinated and wear a face mask. A Russian film crew has returned safely to Earth after filming the first movie in space. They spent 12 days on board the International Space Station shooting the movie about a doctor who travels to space to save a cosmonaut's life.
We begin with the latest on the coronavirus situation in Japan. Tokyo confirmed 40 new cases on Sunday. This is the lowest figure reported this year. The daily number in the capital is down 20 from a week ago and has been below 100 for 9 straight days. 35 people are seriously ill, unchanged from Saturday. Life is slowly returning to normal in many places in Japan. Performers in the northern city of Akita were balancing long bamboo poles adorned with paper lanterns in front of Akita Station. This performance is usually held every year in August, but the annual festival was canceled for the second straight year due to the pandemic. Sunday's event was held on a smaller scale.
I'm glad I can show this to my 2-year-old for the first time.
Festivals are fun.
Akita Prefecture reported a single coronavirus case on Saturday, the only infection in the last 7 days. Japanese officials reported 429 new cases across the country on Sunday and 13 deaths. 11 prefectures reported no new infections. Vaccinations are likely contributing to the lower case numbers. Government officials said on Friday that over 74% of the population had received at least one jab. Over 66% have had 2 shots. The total population figure includes children under 12 who are currently not eligible for coronavirus vaccinations here. The government plans to finish vaccinating all eligible people who want the shots by early November at the latest. Japan's Prime Minister Kishida Fumio has sent a ritual offering to Tokyo's Yasukuni Shrine to mark the start of its autumn festival. The shrine honors Japan's war dead. Those remembered include leaders convicted of war crimes after World War II. Kishida sent the potted plant on Sunday under his title of Prime Minister. 2 members of his cabinet also sent offerings. Sources say Kishida never made such an offering before taking office this month. They say he sent the plant to follow the precedent set by the last 2 prime ministers, Abe Shinzo and Suga Yoshihide. Suga visited the shrine on Sunday for the first time since he became chief cabinet secretary in 2012.
I came to pay my respects to the war dead who sacrificed their precious lives for the country, and to pray that their souls may rest in peace.
2 leaders of a nonpartisan group of lawmakers also visited the shrine on Sunday. The members usually go there together several times a year, but have refrained from doing so since last year due to the pandemic. The group's head said he hopes the members visit together after the coronavirus situation improves. South Korea and China have protested Prime Minister Kishida's ritual offering to Yasukuni Shrine. South Korea's foreign ministry expressed the government's deep disappointment and regret that Japan's responsible leaders again sent offerings or repeated their visits to the shrine. China's state-run Xinhua news agency says China urges Japan to face its history of aggression squarely, engage in deep self-reflection, keep a distance from militarism, and gain trust from its Asian neighbors and the international community through action. The Financial Times says China tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile in August. The test is said to show astounding progress by China on such technology that caught U.S. intelligence by surprise. The paper on Sunday cited 5 people familiar with the test as saying China's military launched a rocket carrying a hypersonic glide vehicle. It said the missile flew through low orbit space before cruising toward its target, which it missed. The United States and Russia have also been working on hypersonic missiles. Such weapons fly at 5 times the speed of sound and can maneuver during flight, making them harder to track. Experts say full development of such technology by China would impact the missile defense systems of the U.S. and Japan. In Iraq, the political movement led by Shia cleric Muqtada al-Sadr will lead the negotiations to form a coalition government after gaining the most seats in parliament. Local media are reporting that al-Sadr's faction won 73 of the 329 seats in the October 10th election. The results were announced by the country's election commission on Saturday. The cleric is calling for the withdrawal of U.S. troops to bring an end to combat operations by the end of this year, and al-Sadr is vowing to keep his country politically distanced from neighboring Iran. This stance is believed to have gained the support of voters opposed to any foreign interference. Now that al-Sadr's movement has become the largest force in Iraq's parliament, pressure for a U.S. troop withdrawal is likely to intensify during talks to form a coalition. But negotiations are expected to be difficult, and it's not known when a new government will be inaugurated. Voter turnout was 43%, the lowest among the 5 parliamentary elections since the U.S.-led coalition went to war against Iraq in 2003. People in Malta have held memorials for an investigative journalist who was killed there 4 years ago. Daphne Caruana Galizia was killed in a car bombing in 2017. The 53-year-old had been reporting on issues such as political corruption for 30 years. She wrote about alleged financial misconduct by a relative of former Maltese Prime Minister Joseph Muscat. Local residents on Saturday gathered at the murder site and applauded to honor the late journalist at the time the bomb went off 4 years ago. Members of an international organization to protect press freedom joined a memorial rally in the capital, Valletta.
Critical journalists play such an important role in our societies. When they investigate and publish, they bring information to our attention. The protection of this is such an important part of Daphne's legacy.
A man was found guilty of planting the bomb and sentenced to prison in a trial this year, but it is not known who ordered the murder or for what purpose. Japan's Princess Mako has attended her last ritual ceremony as a member of the imperial family before her marriage later this month. The rite offers newly harvested rice at a shrine in the imperial palace dedicated to the Shinto sun goddess. Mako is the eldest daughter of Crown Prince and Princess Akishino. She attended the ritual with her parents and her younger sister, Princess Kako. Emperor Naruhito and other imperial family members were also there. Princess Mako is set to marry her former college classmate, Komuro Kei, on October 26th. She will then lose her imperial status and become a commoner. Komuro is scheduled to visit the princess and her parents at their residence on Monday. He and the princess will be reunited in person for the first time in about 3 years. Those were the stories for this hour.